Okay, welcome to Sal's Show. I'm Paul McGillicuddy, and the co-host with me is Elaine Gray and John Fahey.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you again, and thank you for co-hosting with me. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a very good performer with us today. And what it is, it's an interview besides yours from several years back. It's done by Barry Greenspan, and he's interviewing this musician named Vera Meyer. And she plays this interesting instrument called the glass harmonica. We're going to go to her the very first clip, let's watch it.
Hello, you are watching Sal's Show, and I'm Barry Greenspan, and I'm with Vera Meyer, who is a virtuoso on a musical instrument called the glass harmonica. Vera, welcome to Sal's Show.
Thank you for having me.
I'd be honest with you, I'm sure like most people, I've never heard of a glass harmonica until quite recently.
Right.
And I did my research on it, and I found out a very famous person in history invented this instrument.
Benjamin Franklin.
The Benjamin Franklin.
Right.
And it's called a glass harmonica. It was invented in 1761 by Benjamin Franklin, and it's based on the principle of rubbing a wet finger around a wine glass. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, but Benjamin Franklin, when he was an ambassador to the colonies living in Paris, he traveled to London one day and saw a man in Haymarket Square playing on 50 wine glasses, and he thought, well, I could do this a lot better by just blowing the glasses and putting them on a spindle which would rotate. And he did. He came up with this instrument in 1761. The sound has been described as ethereal, haunting, mystical, ghost-like, coming from nowhere, pervading everything. But the instrument had a very wide popularity for about 40 years until, believe it or not, it was banned by German police because it was thought to cause insanity, nervous disorders, convulsions in dogs and cats, marital disputes, and wake people from the dead. But I feel fine. The next thing I would like to play is Jana Gana Mana, the national anthem of India.
We're trying to return this instrument from obscurity.
Now, I noticed it can be used electrically
Yes.
and also manually.
Benjamin Franklin originally had it with a foot treadle, like a Singer sewing machine.
That's what it kind of looks like on the side.
Right.
And
He invented it when he was walking through Haymarket Square in London and happened to see a man playing 50-tune wine glasses, and he thought, well, wouldn't it be a lot easier if you could play it with the stems and the bases removed from each cup and the glasses turned sideways and all put on a rotating spindle? And that's what he came up with. He had a team of glass blowers make one. In 1761, he first called it armonica in honor of the Italian word for harmony.
right.
And then after that, the instrument was popular. It was a fad for, it had been all the rage of high society in London to play on wine glasses, but then this took off for about a 40-year popularity until it was banned around 1830.
Now, why was it banned?
Well, oddly enough, it was thought to cause insanity, nervous disorders, convulsions in dogs and cats, marital disputes, and wake people from the dead. But I feel fine.
So that's sort of like the protests against rock and roll in the mid-50s.
I think that maybe it was the haunting kind of the it was just a very different kind of sound, and people came to fear it, I think. But there's a funny story when Benjamin Franklin returned to Philadelphia from Europe. He put his instrument together up in his attic, and his wife Deborah was sleeping below, and he started to play on it, and she woke up, and she immediately thought that she had died and gone to heaven, and this was the music of the angels.
I notice the sound is similar to a calliope. Is there any connection?
No connection. It's just a lot of people say, well, it sounds like a flute or kind of like a pipe organ or kind of French horny or like a soprano vocalist. It's, it strikes different impressions with different people.
I notice you do have to have wet fingers to play this.
Right, you do.
This is one time.
Turn like that.
So this is one time that mixing electricity and water is not a problem.
Right, no. I have a kind of a silent electrical motor and turn it that way. And I have, this is a scale, just like a piano, and these gold notes are marked the sharps and flats, just like the black notes. And I have 1 octave, 2 octave, almost 3 octave.
Now, are all glass harmonicas the same size?
No, they're all come in all different sizes. It was made by a master glass blower from Waltham, Gerhard Finkenbeiner. Unfortunately, he made headlines around the Boston area about 10 years ago. He went missing in his airplane, and they've never found him.
I see.
But his apprentices are still making this instrument of varying sizes.
So in other words, Mr. Finkenbeiner would be the Stradivarius of...
Kind of.
Or Stradivari, whatever his name was.
Right.
I see.
Wow, what did you think of her music?
Sound wonderful.
Yeah.
She's really talented, isn't she?
She is. Elaine, interestingly enough, Paul, we're getting close to the 4th of July here.
Yes.
And one thing that she had talked about, Elaine, is the fact that Ben Franklin developed this.
He did.
Invented this. What a great mind. What a
Oh
great
my
inventor.
goodness.
Ben Franklin
Yeah.
developed this. And more than 200 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, I thought, very interesting as well. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy founded the first post office, and
Yes.
fire department,
Yeah.
public library, and then the glass harmonica as well. So
Yeah.
how much historical can you get from that?
Wow.
Wow.
A mixture of history
But it's interesting how just that glass
alone.
and the revolution of that glass produces that sound.
It's amazing. Is it? I'm assuming it's putting the fingers in certain spots and different sounds, and it takes a certain ear to be able to do that.
Right.
So where does the glass come in?
The glass
Is
comes
that
in, it's
part
the
of-
sound, it's the vibration or the sound. It sounds like regular music.
Does it mirror off of something?
I think it's just the rubbing of the fingers on the certain areas, and it's
The wet fingers.
the wet fingers,
fingers.
and
Because
revolution,
the revolution of
and
the glass.
and the friction,
Right.
and she does it at certain
But
certain
she
times.
made it look so easy.
Yeah, to her.
To her, right.
Yeah.
To her.
And she said the glass is very delicate, so you
Right.
have to hit it gently, gently with the fingers. And I have heard that music before, like maybe in movies or TV shows. It's very haunting and has a Baroque religious sound to it, to me.
Oh, nice.
When she also talked about very like angelic.
Okay, with that said, let's go on to the next one by Vera. And this one is an Irish tune, and let's roll it.
I would like to play some music that Benjamin Franklin may have played on this instrument. They're British Isle tunes, and they're very lovely. I will play a couple of songs, South Wind, and then Star of the County Down from Ireland.
Now, how did you discover this instrument?
In the exact same way Benjamin Franklin did, except I was walking through Harvard Square in Cambridge and came upon a gentleman playing 70-tune wine glasses on the street. And I fell in love with the sound of glass music, went to Crate and Barrel and auditioned their wine glasses, and then put together about a dozen or so glasses and started playing virtuoso pieces like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And then a month later, I heard about Mr. Finkenbeiner and his glass blowing. He's a scientific glass blower, and this is all fused quartz crystal, the highest grade glass existed. It's not the soda lime glass that Benjamin Franklin had in his day, but it's very high, very pure percentage or high percentage silicate.
I noticed this cork in here.
Yeah, they're each mounted on a separate corks, each bell, and it's very important that they be mounted securely on the spindle and then be absolutely separated from each other and not touching. So all the glasses are nested within each other.
And how long did it take you? When did you first start playing this? How
I
many
started
years?
playing in 1983, and everybody asks me how long did it take to learn, and I tell them, well, 5 minutes for Twinkle Twinkle, a lot longer for Mozart and Bach. So.
Now, is this a very common instrument around the world? Or?
No, it's very rare. I'm one of just a handful of people to play it, but my motto is one in every home. But I started in the mid-'80s. I'm co-founder of an organization called Glass Music International, designed to gather together all people throughout the entire world who enjoy playing on glass instruments. I try to use distilled water so it doesn't get so white with the mineral deposits, but occasional cleaning is really the only. Once they're tuned, they never again need tuning. They're tuned by the builder when it's made, either by grinding the base of each glass to create less mass, or dipping the whole cup in a hydrofluoric acid bath, which etches the glass and thins the wall and makes it a deeper pitch.
My husband would be interested. He's Irish, and we always talk about Irish music and
Yeah, I love
Irish
it.
dialect. But she's very talented.
She makes it seem so easy.
Too easy. She's a great talent. Wow. And I've heard that music. I'm trying to place, like, maybe I heard it in a movie. I can't remember where, but I've heard that in the background.
Let's watch our next act.
I am a street musician out in Harvard Square. I've been playing out in the square since 1984, and so many people from all over the world come through there that I wanted to play songs that they would recognize. I am now going to do the Japanese song Moon Over the Ruined Castle, Kojinosuke. Okay. Then I would like to play a Korean song called Arirang, and then a Chinese song which is very famous.
Carrera. The next song I would like to play is a song from China, very famous. The next song I would like to play is Purple Bamboo from China.
If somebody, one of our viewers decided they want to take up this instrument, any idea what price range it would cost to have one?
Several $1,000s.
Several $1,000s.
Yeah, it's a lot less delicate than it looks. I mean, you don't want to drop it, but I move it around quite a bit.
You have your own CD.
I do.
You did show it to us. And now what have you put on it? Is it
Well,
original tunes or is it
no, it's
cover
a
versions?
complete eclectic mishmash. There's classical, there's Irish, Japanese, folk, children's, Chariots of Fire theme, Over the Rainbow, a pavan from early music, Shenandoah, theme from Romeo and Juliet, national anthem, Shebeg Shemor, Irish. So it's kind of a mixed collection. Anything I think that sounds really pretty on the instrument.
Interesting.
And this picture was taken when I was asked to be in a film for PBS production called Benjamin Franklin, and that is aired several times on PBS. They put me in the Lexington Historical House with a costume that they rented from England and a wig. One of my glass colleagues did a record. I forgot the name. She's a famous recording artist,
Right.
but Neil Young bought an instrument, and I think Paul McCartney may have also. And one of the latest purchaser of one of these instruments is the Sultan of Oman.
Now that's different.
Yeah,
Asian
it's
tunes.
beautiful.
I can picture certain Asian meditation with that music.
Yeah,
She's so eclectic. She has such a wide range
yeah.
of music.
Yes.
Just the three that we've watched. I can't wait
That's
to
it.
hear the others.
Yeah.
Here's more from Vera Myers.
The next song I would like to play is A Beautiful Christmas Carol. It's been said that the pieces written for this instrument range from the obscure to the very obscure. Now I'd like to play the most famous piece ever written for this instrument, the Adagio for Glass Harmonica by Mozart. I know a good one, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. I traveled all over the world when Mr. Finkenbeiner was still alive and when it was easier to bring something like this on a carry-on airplane. Now the rules have changed in the airlines and Mr. Finkenbeiner's not around, so I've only done local gigs since his disappearance.
Interesting.
But if anybody wants a unique concert, I'm always available.
Now, how would somebody contact you?
I have a website. I have, if you can go to my web page under myspace.com/my name, Vera Meyer, VERAMEYER, all one word. But, or you can contact Sal's program, and I'm sure he'd be able to direct anybody to me.
Now, you are visible on YouTube, am I correct?
I do have am featured on YouTube playing in Harvard Square, yes.
Wow, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's a different aspect of Silent Night that we've ever heard. And I don't know how she does it with
Paul.
that instrument.
I don't think I've ever heard a Christmas song on the glass harmonica before.
Me either.
Except on
Nor
your
have
show.
I.
Yeah, I could see the snow falling and that playing. So it has a nice feeling to it. Yeah.
She has a varied,
Repertoire.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd say.
Yeah. Next up, we're gonna do another one from Vera Meyer, and this is very unique. And let's watch the video.
Okay, how about Hatikva? The Israeli national anthem. And here is a very beautiful Jewish folk dance called Erev Ba. This is Ode to Joy by Beethoven.
Sorry, you want to introduce the song first?
Here's a beautiful hymn called The Spacious Firmament from the Creation by Haydn. Here's a very beautiful song from the American South called Shenandoah. here's my selection, my medley of children's songs, if there are any children in the audience. The eensy weensy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Up came the sun and dried up all the rain. Then the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round all over town. The wipers on the bus go swish, 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 swish. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish all over town. Here's something for slightly older children. This is Star Wars. And of course, you'll all recognize Indiana Jones.
It was multiple tunes there.
Yes, it was. And I'm surprised that she can do that. Really.
She's very eclectic. I mean, you know, the Beatles,
Yep.
Star Wars, and interestingly enough, the 40th anniversary of the original Star Wars from 1977, so how fitting it is
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
But she also mentions, and I know that we're watching the videos in piecemeal here, but she also mentions that I think it was the children's song, Twinkle
Yeah.
Twinkle, that she picked up in 5 minutes. Yet she goes into this, the Mozart, the Beethoven, all of these difficult
Yeah.
songs.
Pieces, yeah.
And she does such a great job with it. But is she self-taught? She says she is. But I guess it comes from within.
Yes.
I guess it's something that
I would say.
I
it
wonder-
comes from within because she does such a great job. But it seems so natural to her.
She went from
That's what I thought.
the genres. She
Right.
started out with a
Right,
traditional
exactly.
Jewish tune, and then went into the children rhymes.
And then
you know,
and then the
Old
classical.
MacDonald,
And the classics.
and then the classical. That she went through that, and then Indiana Jones and Star Wars. So she has multiple interests in music. It's not just classical or yeah. I like that.
Vera Meyer. I'm not going to forget about her because I can't believe this segment. She even does more tunes, you know, and of varied repertoire as we talked about.
Let's roll that video.
That was the famous Largo from Xerxes' opera by Handel. All right, I'll play some very beautiful piece by Bach called Jesu, Joy of Man's Desiring. Oh, I know a pretty song. This is Scarborough Fair. This is Waltzing Matilda from Australia.
Thank you, Vera, for appearing on Sal's show and performing for us. And thank you for watching.
Now, this is a real switch.
Yeah.
Classical.
Yeah?
Started with a Bach tune.
Right. It started with the Bach tune. And it's interesting, she says she does this at Harvard Square.
Uh-huh.
And all of these different genres of music, I think,
Mhm.
fit.
Yes.
I'm gonna go look for her. Yeah?
And was that Joy? Or was
Ode
that
to
different?
Joy, Beethoven.
That's a very nice
Right.
tune.
It's popular. We hear it all the time.
Right.
And Hey Jude by the Beatles is certainly popular as
Oh,
well.
wow.
And most of her, I mean, she did the Jewish and she did the Indian songs as well, but all of it, I think, is fairly popular.
Yeah,
you know,
it's well
everyone
known.
can relate to.
Yeah, Scarborough Fair. I mean, that was the 60s
60s,
popular
right.
song,
Right.
and And you know what, she also, she switched to another country, Waltzing Matilda,
Right.
a famous
Yeah.
Australian
I
movie.
know.
Wow. And it's not just one, well, that's great, it's not just one music, it's a wide range. I like that.
Right.
I like the 60s and 70s music, that's why I relate to it, because I grew up in that era. I was a kid then.
Well, thank you, Paul, for having both of us on.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming. It's been such a pleasure. You both were great. I was thinking of a different bestseller. And it's been a pleasure having Elaine Gray and John Fahey.
Thank you,
And
Paul.
thank you for watching Sal's show.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you,
Sal.
Sal.
Sal, my man.
Yeah.
And
And-
viewers,